Your personality will be thought of as your psychological fingerprint. Most psychologists agree that everyone's personality is a cocktail of just 5 key traits: openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. We share them all, but to differing degrees. So what's your special blend? This is your result from the personality survey. Openness measures our artistic sensitivity and our desire for novel experiences. Conscientiousness reflects how well we plan and exhibit self-control. Extroversion is linked to positive emotions and energy. It also measures our desire for social stimulation. Agreeableness indicates how much we care about the feelings of others and how much we trust them. Neuroticism is linked to how we perceive threats and how we manage negative emotions like stress, anxiety, and fear. Now let's take a deeper look at your most interesting traits. You scored high for conscientiousness. It's likely your colleagues would describe you as organised, reliable, self-controlled, hard-working, and rule-abiding with high aspirations. You tend to be a good planner who really gets distracted and always follows through. You are an employer's dream. So what makes you so conscientious? Certainly an area of the brain known as the prefrontal cortex is involved. When this area suffers damage, a previously conscientious person can turn into a very impulsive one. We get a lot of information about the brain and personality from people who've had strokes. One reliable worker at a car plant suffered a stroke that damaged his prefrontal cortex. When he returned to work, he struggled with punctuality and developed an unfortunate habit of driving new cars from the factory to his home, where he just abandoned them. Now let's hear from some well-known figures about their own degree of conscientiousness.
Conscientiousness. It's a very tricky and difficult thing to measure because I actually do have a slogan, which is if a job's worth doing, it's worth doing badly.
I think I am a hard worker. I think I'm probably more of a perspiration than inspiration type of person. Not that, you know, I'm particularly sweaty, because I'm not.
I think my dad is extremely conscientious. I think my mum is the opposite, and I think I might have inherited both. I'm quite spontaneous, but I'm quite badly organised, but not terribly badly organised. Like, I will get something done, but I'll probably leave it till the last minute.
I'm not always conscientious. I mean, you know, like everybody, I take the shortcuts if I have to, or I'm short of time, or I will take the shortcuts. But if it really matters, I will go all out and do it.
I like to think my lack of conscientiousness is actually intelligent thought about where one should best and most efficiently be deploying one's efforts.
Now we'll explore another of your traits. You scored low on openness. You're likely to be very practical and reliable. You probably have a traditional or realistic way of thinking, and people view you as being conventional. It's believed that openness is a measure of how interconnected different areas of the brain are. Those low in openness may have fewer interconnections, so are likely to be more practical and logical thinkers. As a result, you might find it more difficult to think outside the box or come up with original ideas. You may have a more narrow range of interests, but with this comes a degree of focus that's a vital asset for any society. In times of hardship, it's the practical and capable personalities such as yourself that are more in demand. Now let's hear from some well-known figures about their own degree of openness.
I'm very surprised that I score low, bottom third really, on openness. I mean, that's the one that surprises me.
I think I'm curious about people, which is why I do this job, because that's what it's like to be a journalist. You want to hear people's stories. So I think that's probably why I scored a little higher than average there, because it's It's what I do.
I am definitely curious about everything.
In my head, I'm always trying to simplify things. It's just the way my mind tends to work. I've noticed this. So if someone's giving me a lot of detail, I'm not taking the detail. I'm trying to see a pattern in the detail that allows me to kind of hone it down to the basic essence. I'm sort of always looking for the essence rather than the detail. So maybe that makes me a more closed-minded person in some sense.
I'm very curious about the world. I love adventure. I love going out into the world and exploring and travelling a lot. I've done a lot of travel, but I have to disagree that I don't particularly like music. I don't have a huge record collection. I don't go to the theatre often. So, yeah, half and half on that one.
To find out more about your other personality traits, follow the links on the web page once this video has finished. Your profile will be analysed together with all those across the UK. The results will be broadcast in a special series of Child of Our Time in spring 2010.